I need to move this.
Nope, I'll take care of it. Sorry guys, I'm wearing multiple hats right at the moment. So give me a second to switch this slide out. All right, sweet, it's working. So I don't need to introduce myself. You guys already know me. Talked to all of you this weekend, and I really appreciate everybody coming. I know that it's been, an encouraging event for me and a very enlightening event. But the biggest part of this last year, for the first time, and this year for the second time, has been getting to know all of you, getting to hear your stories, getting to know your kiddos, and when watching our kids play together, which is just like, I'm gonna be walking about a foot off the ground for a couple of weeks here because it's been so neat to watch everybody just bond with each other. So thank you for coming, because that's something we can't replicate with, an online conference or something like that, which we have considered. We understand that there's a lot of financial obligation that you guys are taking on to be here. So we really appreciate that, because it's just been very encouraging and, helps us keep moving forward. So I've got about 20 minutes to give you a quick rundown, 25 minutes or so. I didn't even look at the clock before I got up here. So I'm going to tell Mandy, tell me when my time's done, and I'll just wrap up. But I'm going to get you through a couple of things here that I want you guys to know about. Some stuff that already exists that you guys can tap into as resources, but also some things that we're going to start trying to do in 2026. If I use the tool right, that'd be good. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you about some tools. There are some of these that are already in place. For example, there's a newly diagnosed page. I'm sure that many of you have ended up on that page when you got your diagnosis. That's something we try to push people to, and it's got a lot of information. There's a downloadable PDF that's kind of like the precursor to something that we're going to work on in 2026, addressing what Kevin just talked about a minute ago. But right now there exists a document that's been there for a while. So if you guys want something right now to hand to a teacher or hand to a paraprofessional or something like that, there is a document there that kind of breaks down what White Sutton syndrome is, common symptoms, things you might expect. We're going to expand upon that. But for now, there is that basic resource there that's been there for a while. And there's also a whole lot of information on that page. There's an external resources page. I do my very best, and I might ask Jeremy to help me with this because he's definitely done the deep dive into a lot of this research as well. I try to give people resources that aren't from us. Because there's a lot of other people that are all putting stuff out, but it's, one here and one there and, one everywhere. And it's really hard to kind of, even using Google or ChatGPT or whatever you want to be able to gather all that for yourself. And I'm sure you guys, again, have been on that journey, gathering all your information, and we're trying to make it easier. If you guys run into resources and you want to, say, hey, this is something that, I think that we should include, feel free to email me. My email will be at the end of this presentation. You can shoot me an email and let me know about that if you find something. But yeah, I'm definitely open on about, to putting anything on our website that's going to help our parents, navigate this journey. Coming in 2026, like I alluded to, we're going to do a parent resource book. That's actually an idea that came here this weekend. Grace was telling us about a book that she had gotten when, she first was looking for a diagnosis, and they thought that Alessia had Smith-Magenis. And there's a book that the Smith-Magenis Foundation puts out that helps people, educate other people that are going to be dealing with, care for their kids. And so we want to do something like that and make it more available. Right now, we've had a PDF, and it literally has just sat there for since 2018. So we are going to work on making a more comprehensive book, making it available as a book. I have illusions of grandeur probably, but it's potentially going to be an app as well if I can get that to work. But that's no commitments yet. I'm not that good of a developer, but I might be able to. So may make it an app as well. And also the newly diagnosed page that I mentioned a minute ago is also going to be updated. There's been some updates happening to it. So if you guys are curious about statistics, if you're a math geek like Jeremy, then you can go to that page and you can look at a lot of the data. And in that page, there's bold text throughout all of the different symptoms. And that's actually coming directly from our patient registry. We get de-identified data from everybody who goes into the patient registry, and we can see trends that are happening within our community, at least the people who have registered on our patient registry. So if you're interested in seeing some statistics that we've gathered, there's some of it already there, but I'm going to continue to make updates to that and to try to do more regular updates, because right now it's all very manual. I want to get it to be more automatic so that I can keep you guys up to date on what these statistics are. So if you're curious about that, there's already some data there, but it's going to be updated as well. And then you're going to see a trend in all these slides. I'm going to tell you what exists, I'm going to tell you what's coming, and I'm going to tell you how you can help. What I need you guys to do as far as the tools, we need people to register in our patient registry. There's a patient registry page on the website that will take you directly to the CORDS patient registry that we've set up. That data is invaluable, not only for us to put on our website as de-identified data, but also for researchers who are looking to do studies. We've talked about the registry with Simons as well, but this one is also very important because it gives a lot of information to potential researchers. If they're trying to find different variants that are of significance to them, and they need to find data on those people with those variants, this registry gives them that kind of information. So please, if you haven't already, it doesn't take very long. There's a basic enrollment that's just standard across everybody that registers for CORDS, and then there's also a White Sutton specific questionnaire that you can fill out. And then you get an automatic reminder every year just to, maybe make sure that your information is still correct, because we know our kids change over time. So, they do ask for that. And if you're interested, there are CORDS pamphlets on the back counter back here so that you can see what's involved, or you can go directly to our website and go to the registry page. There's lots of info there as well. Okay, information. Gathering research articles is something that I've been doing. Like I said, there is a specific research page on our website as well. The research has increased in the last couple of years, which is awesome. I mean, there's a lot more people interested in talking about POGZ and doing research on it. But the challenge for me is I'm one guy, and trying to go to PubMed and go to NCBI and all of those websites to try to gather all this information, I'm going to miss something. So if you guys do run across research, again, reach out to me, send me an email, and I'll take a look at it and see if we can get it added on the website. We're hoping to do a little bit more in 2026, though, but I'll get to that in just a second. Blogs and social media. As much as we just use social media for a pastime or a hobby or something like that, just something to do in our free time, it's also a very effective tool to get the message out about White Sutton syndrome. So we're going to try ramping up our efforts for a couple of reasons in 2026. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. There's links at the bottom of our website. And then please like and share the posts that we put up. I mean, we're trying to raise awareness because, as a small rare disease community, our resources are limited. We can't necessarily do everything that we want to do if it's just our families, doing all of that. We need to tell our families and our extended families and our friends and our coworkers about White Sutton syndrome and see how we can, get them to get involved and help us out with our mission. Coming in 2026, we are going to do a podcast. I don't know why I'm doing this, but we're going to do it. Right. It's going to be the Pogscast. And for the beginning, at least, it's probably going to be about once a month, just because, there's only so much bandwidth that we have. But it's another way to raise awareness that we've seen be effective for, other things that, who listens to podcasts in here? Everybody listens to podcasts in here, right? Yeah. So, I want to make sure that we have that tool available as well. Some people go to a website, some people go to Facebook, and some people just listen to a podcast on the way home from work. So I want that to be available as a tool as well. And again, follow that, share it with people. Let them know about White Sutton syndrome that way, if that's the way that they learn things. So getting involved, we have a story page on our website, and I look at our statistics, and I'm a data geek too. And the stories page on our website is the #1 hit besides the homepage. So people like hearing about your kiddos. That's what they want to hear about, especially if they're probably going on their own diagnostic journey and they just got diagnosed, and now they're like, well, what does this mean for my kiddo? Here's some kiddos I can read about. they like hearing about that, and it's definitely a way to raise awareness. So if you're willing to share a story about your kid, there's already some on there. You can kind of see what the general format is. Typically, I ask the parents just to write their own story, and then I'll help them edit that if that's something they want. But it's a very a very light lift, and it would be much appreciated if you guys would consider doing that. Also, if you're on social media and you're talking about White Sutton syndrome, it's really good on social media to have, a common voice. And on social media, that's hashtags. Okay. So if you're posting about White Sutton syndrome, use these 2 hashtags. That way, everybody that's talking about this thing says it the same way. And everybody that's looking for something for White Sutton syndrome or POGZ can find the same stuff. So if you're going to do that, please do use those hashtags. And we're still kind of figuring out the details as far as the podcast goes. But if you are willing to suggest a guest for our podcast or be a guest on our podcast, that would be much appreciated as well. So again, my email address will be at the end of this presentation. You can reach out to me and let me know if that's something that you're interested in doing. All right, community, this is the heart of what we're doing. Like I said, Family Stories is the most visited section on our website. I want to give you a little bit of detail about that just so that you understand. I don't ever put, any more than just the very basic personal information in these stories. So no matter who submits something, the first thing that I do will always be to just lighten the identification. So if you have first names disappear. I take all that stuff off so that it's not identifiable other than just a picture and first names. So I will always make sure that is the case and your privacy will be protected. But, again, if you're looking to share a story and help out with raising awareness about White Sutton, that'd be amazing. White Sutton Day. I was talking to somebody at the pool last night, and it's unfortunate. It's January 6th. So, that's a little more infamous nowadays than when we established White Sutton, because we had it first. We had January 6th first. So hopefully that grows a little notorious over the next couple of years. But this has historically been an awareness day. We try to get people to tell other people about White Sutton syndrome. As I'm going to mention here in a second, we're going to encourage you to use this not just as an awareness tool this year, but to use it as an opportunity to raise funds. So please, on January 6th, set aside a little bit of time in your day to use those hashtags that I gave you. And the hashtag, I didn't put it on my presentation, I'm sorry, but it's WHSUS Day is the hashtag we're going to use this year. So if you guys post on White Sutton Day, just take a picture of the sign and then just add a hashtag and day at the end. And that's your hashtag for White Sutton Day. And use that to raise awareness as well. That's just a day we try to come together and have, a common voice about telling other people about our kiddos and their condition. Obviously, most of you are in our Facebook group, but make sure that if you have, we try to keep it to immediate family. But if you have doctors who are interested, we also do have a professional group on the Facebook page that's not really being used right now. So if doctors would like to talk to each other, we want to equip them to do that. So if you have doctors that are interested, again, have them reach out to me at my email address, and we will we'll make that happen. And also, if your kiddos are getting older and they're getting on social media, I want you guys to know our kiddos with White Sutton are welcome on our Facebook page. So it's not just for caregivers, it's also for those who are looking to be uplifted by themselves. If they're, getting into young adulthood and they want to be able to talk to people and ask questions, and maybe it's not mom or dad question, maybe it's friend question, they can get on there and be part of that community as well. So make sure that they, if you're comfortable with that and they are, old enough, then, then let them get on there. They're more than welcome there to interact as well. Coming in 2026. You guys have probably heard me allude to it before, and I just alluded to it a minute ago. We are going to do a very focused fundraising push in 2026. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a second, but again, I want to reiterate what Grace said a minute ago. Regional meetups are also a big push in 2026 for our community. We really need to have, those get-togethers to help people not only, meet and enjoy each other and time with each other, but also to kind of build that community that helps push the other efforts that we're making forward. So if you are willing, there's a couple of regions that Grace needs help with. She may even need help. She's one person as well, so she may even need help in California for that. If you want to do that, but please do reach out to her if you're interested in doing that. But like I said, 2026 is going to be a big fundraising push for us. We're going to focus this year. We've done a lot of fundraising just very organically the last couple of years, and it's made possible the efforts that we've done, but we really want to be able to take that next step and start doing direct support for research. So we are going to put together a campaign that we are hoping that you guys will share and participate in, to do POGSI specific research with Mark. So we're going to set a goal that we want to have $150,000 raised by October 31st of 2026. But I need to emphasize something really hard here, guys. If we're going to achieve this goal, we're a very small organization, and I know what our fundraising has looked like, and this is a big lift, but we can do it. And one thing that I really need to ask you guys' help with is getting a lot of it done in the next 6 months. I've set a year goal just because I want to be reasonable, but we have a lot of very effective fundraising opportunities in the next 6 months. We have Giving Tuesday, which is the single biggest day for fundraising. And if you guys aren't familiar with Giving Tuesday, you know what Black Friday is, right? Everybody does Black Friday after Thanksgiving. Giving Tuesday is the following Tuesday, and it's the biggest, income of donations in the year, typically. Now, that's been, true sometimes for us and sometimes not, but that's a really effective time to ask other people to give. So if you guys have extended family, friends, coworkers, anybody like that that's looking to give to a cause, let them know that we have a very specific cause. We're trying to do POGSI specific research. We're trying to fund Mark's research, and we want to try to get that done. So Giving Tuesday is a great one. The time in between Giving Tuesday and Christmas is the biggest fundraising season of the year. So if there's anybody, again, that's going to be able to going to be willing to give funds, it's a lot of companies that do this because they're in Q4. They're trying to use the rest of those funds for tax reasons. There's a lot of opportunity there. So, we can do a little bit to identify those, but you guys know your communities. You guys know where those situations are. I'm asking that you guys give us some help to make this happen in your communities. There's also White Sutton Day, like I mentioned before. That's January 6th. And then April is Autism Awareness Month. And that's also a big fundraising situation for, a lot of people with autism. And a lot of our kids have autism. So please take advantage of that time as well, because there's a lot of awareness going on then. And you can really, tap into that awareness and that excitement around that time in April. So that's what I have to share about our goal to raise money. There will be a lot more messaging coming out in the coming months here. And again, please do share that on social media, but also get directly active in those things. Get involved. There's a lot of fundraising opportunities. Kevin's actually going to come up here in a second and talk a little bit about that. A couple that I know are effective. Birthday fundraisers on Facebook. So if you have a birthday coming up, please do a birthday fundraiser on Facebook. I did not anticipate this when we started raising funds for the foundation, but that's one of our biggest sources of income, believe it or not. So if you guys have a birthday, please do a birthday fundraiser. It's very little effort on your part and a lot of benefit for the foundation. Something that has not really been used but is available to you as well. If you go on our website and you donate directly on our website, that's run through a platform called Give Lively. And Give Lively also has an opportunity for people to do GoFundMe style fundraisers. So if you're looking to do something that's not a birthday fundraiser, but just like, a GoFundMe, there is, that functionality is built into our platform as well. And it's linked to from the website. But if you're interested and you don't know how to do that, please reach out to me and I'll help you get that taken care of as well. Another big one that we've had a little bit more benefit with more recently is with employers. A lot of employers do give to charities, and they're often looking for charities to give to. And a lot of them also have matching programs. So if you have an employer who has a matching program, typically that'll be, they'll match dollar for dollar up to a certain amount, whatever you're giving or whatever you're able to raise. So please look into those situations if you do have them. And Kevin's going to give you some more information on some of those strategies here in just a second. All right, so if you can get involved, I think you got the idea. I need you to fundraise. I need you to raise awareness. I need you to share your story, because the more people we can tell about White Sutton syndrome and the more people that can see our kiddos and see the mission that we have and see that it's a worthy mission, the more realistic our goal is going to be. All right, any questions?
I want to hear about the meter on the website.
Oh, yeah. when we do set our goals up and everything is, all the messaging is out, there will be a meter on our website that's showing where we are in our goal. And Mandy, you want to share a little bit? Oh, that's not gonna. You're gonna need to use this one, sweetie, if you don't want to talk.
What questions online?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry. There is a little bit of progress already. I don't know if you guys saw on Facebook before the conference, but we had a donation from Mandy's work, Community Care. They gave us $5,000 to get us started. So we've got that, and then we've also got 2 donations already given. We had one from Sloan and her family, which was amazing, that we just took a picture up here for. They gave us $1,500, and then yeah, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And then we had another donation from Melissa Ganaway's parents earlier on this week, and that's another $1,000 towards the goal. So we're already at $7,500 towards our $1,500. That's awesome. Good progress. Okay, any other questions? I saw Grace's hand up.
Yeah, I had 2 fast things. One is, are there any plans to have a parent directory in the works? That's something that I think, I know myself as a regional, person, like that could be useful, as well as for anything else. I know it'd have to have a lot of parameters, such as consent and things like that. But so that was one question. The app would be.
Yeah, I think that we could definitely make that happen. I mean, we've got our Facebook community already, so I mean, as long as we're making sure that we're respecting people's privacy and that's protected, which I would totally do, that's a great idea. So there's not any plans, but we can do that.
Yeah, I think beyond Facebook, it's hard to use Facebook as a filtering tool to just filter by name, area, and things like that. Kids' age, if you're looking for.
Let's talk. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah.
Talk with Kim Cass. She's the analyst. And then I had another question about board transparency and fundraising.
Okay.
And actually, the 3 of us are actually on boards in our communities. We were just talking last night about reports that we have access to and how we can see where the spending is going. And how that is actually, in my view, important for fundraising.
Absolutely.
People want to know where their dollars are going and towards what and how it's being spent.
Yes.
Are there any plans for that sort of transparency?
100%. Yes. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. We've kind of been learning on the job with the board, because we're all just figuring this out because we're parents of White Sutton syndrome kids first. But we've heard that, and we definitely want to be transparent, especially with this push, to make sure that you guys know this is exactly what we're doing. We're saying we're doing it, and we're doing it. So
we have it all in the board drive. You can definitely just publish it somewhere. If that's what you want. And then to that effect, can you give money to a specific, like to research or to scholarships? Or
yes. Yeah, we definitely already have that on the website. When you're making donations, we ask you to designate what you would like that to go towards, and we respect those buckets for sure. Yes. Oh.
I was just going to say I've worked in fundraising and PR communications before. If we want to do outreach to organizations that we work with for fundraising, do you have like a toolkit online, or is there any plans to have like downloadable letterhead, logos, like things like that? Like we want to do some outreach on behalf of the foundation, like QR code that maybe goes directly to the website.
Sure. We're putting together a communications package, yes, and that will definitely be part of it. There'll be a letter just kind of explaining what our goal is. There'll be logos. All of that stuff will be available, yes. Yes.
I have a question. I know you referenced the doctor researcher page before. Is there any plan to put either on the Facebook page or on the website teacher therapist resources? Because I know a lot of Haley's teachers are very vested and they want to learn more.
Sure.
And obviously every child is specific into their needs, but there's some general overall information about working with the White Sutton that
yes.
I direct my kids' teachers and therapists to.
And that's the resource book that I was talking about. That's definitely going to be our primary thing that we're going to work on this year. But there are other resources. I just want to make them more accessible because there's a lot of it on there right now, but it's very dense, and want to make it a bit more packaged so that it's easier for somebody to just kind of cheat sheet their way through something. So, yeah, yep. Kevin, yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask for fundraising. I know there's a lot of different, like there's Give Lively, there's GoFundMe, there's just like a personal check.
Yep.
What's the most streamlined way for people to give donations, particularly, I mean, in an ideal world, if someone's trying to give like a sizable donation, how can we, eliminate as many sort of transaction fees and that sort of stuff while still making it like legal for
okay.
all, not just like
yeah.
a to Josh Couch.
Got it.
If you write a check to the White Sutton Syndrome Foundation, the White Sutton Syndrome Foundation has its very own account. It can just be deposited.
And you guys will get 100% of that.
Yes. That's definitely the most streamlined. Sometimes that's not, a functional way to do it, but yeah, a check would be, the best way. And like she said, that we have a foundation account. I would recommend against doing GoFundMe's just because there is so much of that money that doesn't actually make it to the charity. We have the Give Lively the platform that we use does have fees, but they're only transaction fees associated with Stripe, which is their payment processor. So that's pretty minimal, although it does take a transaction fee. There's also other ways that even though they're not necessarily as we don't get as much of the money, it's just a more effective way to raise, like the birthday fundraisers on Facebook. There's definitely transaction fees and stuff that are associated with that.
So the foundation has its own bank account, like
yes.
You could do direct deposit.
Yes.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, if you have questions about the bank account, Mandy has definitely got that information. She can help you out.
Yeah, it has its very own account. Everything is tracked. Yeah.
You can give a certain payment amount monthly to, if you want to be a regular giver. I saw an option for that as well.
And then we generate a form for folks.
Yes, as soon as you make a donation, it will send you the EIN for the foundation, and it's tax deductible. Yes. Sorry, just trying to track here. Yes.
So I'm a teacher and work in education. So I participate in a lot of fundraisers. So do I see like something that could help the foundation? Do I run it past you? Because I know a lot of different companies that
at the end of the day, it's I need, if you guys are going to do fundraising, a lot of it is going to happen. You got to be creative about those things. So if you do see something that is, a fundraising opportunity, absolutely. We're not going to turn any dollars away because we want to get there for Mark and help him help our kids. So, that's, I wouldn't cut anything out if you feel like that it's a, likely opportunity to raise funds. So, if you want to reach out to me, I can definitely help you, or I can at least you can bounce ideas off of me. So
there's the blank dinner fundraisers. Yeah. I'm sure Kevin's going to go into more detail about that. The only thing we ask is if we share the package with the logo. We had an individual going in and she created her store and she was trying to sell everything under the White Sutton logo brand, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. This is trademark, so you can't just go reproduce things and try to sell them because it's branded, right? We own the right to that. And so just respect the logo and things like that. But if you need to share, if you have a fundraiser idea in your own community, do it. There's a big fundraiser, whatever it is. In Tulsa, we're going to do an art walk, and we're going to ask artists that are from local to donate, and then we're going to do a gala and raffle. So we'll have to get creative, and everybody in our community will have to get creative.
I'm just going to add to that. If you have the logo in the package and you're having problems resizing it, I'm sure Josh would love to resize it for you so that you don't distort the logo. It kind of helps keep it looking professional.
Yeah. There'll be a small brand standards document as well that just kind of tells you exactly how to use the logo. If you guys don't know, my day job, I'm a creative director now, but I was a graphic designer for years. And so, you'll get a nice package to be able to use the logo, and it'll tell you exactly how to do it and how not to do it. So
you had no idea, right?
I know the White Sutton Day, so I'm part of the Microsoft group. That's what my daughter was first diagnosed with. So they came out with a shirt for Microsoft that light and everything.
Yep.
So like those kinds of things, like those are things that like I've been part of for that Microsoft group that's like things
Okay.
I know. And then other like my daughter's in a band, so like I know like different like places and stuff that could support.
Perfect. Yeah, get in touch with me. We'll talk.
I just want to like say something real quick too. Even if like we just all give $10, $20 a month, like direct deposited, like we could have such a big impact. It could make like $10,000, $15,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's like a coffee at Starbucks or like a breakfast at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And that's another function of Give Lively that it is possible to do that. We do have some people doing that already where it's just automatically deducted every month. Then you can choose the amount. You can stop it whenever you want to. But it is, again, something that's already available if you guys want to do that or if you have somebody that you know that is willing to do that. Yes?
Is there a store part of the website? Like
Yes.
extended family want to buy beer? Okay.
Absolutely. I just want to let you know, though, I have tried because there's two options that I would have had building a store. It would have been making a whole bunch of stuff, stocking everything, doing all the fulfillment myself and all that stuff, which, would get more money because I could be more, efficient about, buying the best price shirts, finding a good screen printer that's not expensive. Or I could do a turnkey solution with what's called a print on demand store. And that's what we do. So the store isn't necessarily a fundraising tool. It's an awareness tool. So don't say, I want you guys all to go buy a shirt because we get pennies on the dollar for that. It's more just to try to get people to know what's White Sutton syndrome. Then you get to talk to them about it. So if you guys are interested in buying White Sutton syndrome shirts, you guys already have one from the conference, but if you want to buy one with the White Sutton logo on it, those are available on our store. They're reasonably priced. But again, not a huge fundraising tool, but definitely an awareness tool that you guys can use.
Just one other thing, given that this is all very exciting, all these new initiatives, are there specific jobs, responsibilities that you are still looking for more consistent help with?
Yes. That's a general rule. We are looking for help. So if you guys are looking for help or you guys are willing to help, we are probably not going to say no. Yeah. So you can reach us. Mine is Josh at whitesutton.org. If you want to reach out to Mandy, it's Mandy at whitesutton.org. Super easy to remember. So if you guys want to help, we are welcoming you with open arms. We need the help. All right. Any other questions? Okay. I think I went over my time, so I'll give it over to Kevin.
You 5 minutes.
Oh, sorry. I do have 5 minutes?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going to say it as I leave here. There's another survey on our website. We're still getting this conference thing figured out. So if there's feedback that you guys have about the conference this weekend, please go to the website. There's a tab on the conference page to give us feedback for that as well.
Thank you, Josh. It's a huge amount of work.
That was going to be my first comment. Is